Irishman, and William was his name. And from the day he crossed the Boyne, things never were the same. We always will remember our hero at the Boyne. So come along, my Orange friends, and in the chorus join. 3 cheers for King Billy, we all remember you. Our pride and joy, our Billy boy in orange and in blue. 3 cheers for King Billy, our banners in the sky. The cry is no surrender on the 12th day of July. He fought and won our freedom, his fame will never wane. You'll see him on the banners in Toronto and Coleraine. We always will remember our hero at the Boyne. So come along, my Orange friends, and in the chorus join. 3 cheers for King Billy, we all remember you. Our pride and joy, our Billy boy in orange and in blue. 3 cheers for King Billy, our banners in the sky. The cry is no surrender on the 12th day of July. Some people think us crazy, as it's all history. But liberty he gave us, he fought to set us free. We always will remember our hero at the Boyne. So come along, my Orange friends, and in the chorus join. 3 cheers for King Billy, we all remember you. Our pride and joy, our Billy boy in orange and in blue. 3 cheers for King Billy, our banners in the sky. The cry is no surrender on the 12th day of July. 3 cheers for King Billy, we all remember you. Our pride and joy, our Billy boy in orange and in blue. 3 cheers for King Billy, our banners in the sky. The cry is no surrender on the 12th day of July. No surrender!
Okay, just going to try seeing how this Go Live things work to see if I can get a virtual band parade going. Jose, are you there? Because you're meant to be joining. I'm sitting here on my own. Jose, join me. Hello. Jose, are you there? No, Eddie. Eddie, can I try bringing you on camera to see how this works? Can I? Right, I'm going to try it. I'm clicking you. Regardless. Please don't look at the state of me. I am a mess. Right. Who all is on till I try adding somebody? Eddie. Let's see. Why are they not letting me join? Oh, for God's sake. Right. How long to see? Whoever want to use is joining. I'm trying it. Oh, frig. Right. Where's the wee option to bring on camera? Oh, Jesus. Oh, you've got away. Stop watching. Stop watching. Oh, my God. This is a really bad idea. Right, so the whole idea behind this is I'm going to try getting a virtual band parade going. Same idea as the radio show where you send in requests, we chat through this PM and all that sort of stuff. Oh my God, far too many joining this. Go away. I'm only trying this so that I can see how I bring folk on camera, but it's not giving me the option. It only gives me the option from the page. Normally I can bring on folk to watch. Oh, this is far too many folk. This is not what this was intended for. Oh my God. Right, so I'm going to try and get virtual band parades going for those who have just joined and sort of base it on the radio show a few years ago. How it's going to work, I do not know. Thinking about running them from about 8 o'clock on a Friday and Saturday night, because that's when we normally would have been out for parade. Sending in requests through the PM and all that kind of stuff. Oh my God, there's far too many. I was thinking, Eddie, 8 o'clock at nights. Then everybody could send in requests, and oh my God, I'll definitely have my hair washed, that's for sure. Billy Gray, that's the person I've been waiting on. It's not allowing me to add you, Billy, so I'm going to have to try it from the UBF page. So that's the plans, folks. Any idea? I thought we could talk about history, or we could bring folk with cameras. Maybe if it's the night of your parade, you could come on and talk. I know everyone's watching me, Tracy. This is not what this is intended to be. Right, okay. Hopefully we'll get this up and running the night for 8 o'clock. So go on to the Ulster Bands Forum page, and hopefully it'll work. I don't know. It's the first time trying this, but after Emmerdale. Jose, do you watch Emmerdale? I am sorry, but I don't watch Emmerdale. So maybe 8 o'clock. It's the time of normally band parades would happen, isn't it? So we'll try and have a virtual band parade at 8 o'clock the night. If it works, I don't know. Send in your requests in advance. Are you not getting ready today? I would need to start getting ready last week, Eddie, in order to be... Yes, send requests in now, Lorraine, absolutely. Glenn, thinking of having folk like yourself on camera at the same time in order to talk mental health, things to do while you're stuck in the house over the next few months. Just anything like that there. So virtual band parades is maybe the way forward for the next few months. So post your requests. There's a post on UBF. Post your requests on there, and we'll see how a virtual parade goes. Bye. That was my very first attempt at trying this. And then Roy contacted me and came to my technical rescue because I wasn't managing to work that way. And it just has continued from then. And tonight, believe it or not, is our 100th show. And we have Roy and Lisa here who have been with us since day dot. It's Lisa is muted. It's been a long journey, and thank you all to sticking with us. Who ever believed? And funny, when we played the very first show there from 7 o'clock, I said, "Oh, it's 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 12 weeks at the most." Little did we know. Little did we know. Many differences between then and now. Hair color, glasses color, fatter. Roy is much more polished in the videos. Lisa is second time on screen now as well. My memory's still as bad as ever, but really, really pleased to be here with you all 100 shows later. So we said that tonight would be a karaoke just to celebrate. So I hope you are all in great singing voice. We're going to start off with thank you everyone for the comments. Andrew is right. I need more than one gin. Absolutely. I need a load of gin. And somebody also said in the other show about that I had more grey hairs now. I think that's 100 of these has left us with grey hairs. Roy's probably got more grey hairs. Don't know about you, Lisa. Have you more grey hairs?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
She's too young to have grey hair. She's still only a wee babe.
Not like you, Roy. Not like you.
At least I'll never be as old as you. You're 100 tonight, so.
It's
What better way to celebrate your birthday? Doing 100 shows. And the abuse has started already. John China's told me not to give up my day job.
I know. Well, hopefully we've improved. We've learned to switch off the mics. We are a wee bit better. Sorry, Lisa?
Sometimes, Roy?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes we still forget.
I forget to turn my mic on, Lisa. Not forget to turn it off. I forget to turn it on.
Oh yes, and for everyone was asked. First of all, I want to say a massive big thank you to everyone who has asked about Carson since last weekend. Of course, he took a fit live on the show last Saturday night. He ended up doing between Saturday night and Monday night was his last fit. He took 8 fits in 48 hours, which is pretty hard going. Drew was on a weekend tonight, so I was dealing with it all myself. But I'm delighted to be able to say, hopefully you can see him. He is there on the sofa, as content as he normally would be. That's the way he normally would lie during these shows. So it's always a good sign that he is back to himself. And thank you all so much for all your comments. That he's my baby. They're both my babies. So I am so glad that, you know, I'm so thankful for you all, because I have to say that your comments just kept me going over that weekend, because it was really tough going. No sleep whatsoever, because I didn't want to sleep. He was taking them in the middle of the night and everything. And I just didn't want to sleep. But he is on the way. He's you know, we're out of that cluster fits now, so it's just a matter of the meds and waiting for the next cluster, whenever that may be. But thank you all for your thoughts. And also want to give a special mention to Barbara Miller and to Roy, because they very kindly tried to keep it secret from me, but you can't keep secrets from me for long. They had started a GoFundMe campaign for his vet bills, and I really, really do appreciate it. I was actually quite a wee bit emotional when I saw it, because I thought that is so nice. But like, there's many, many more people in need than I am. And thank you to everyone who donated in the short time that it was up. But hopefully you all have got your money refunded back. There's many, many more in need than I am, and the vet bills are not a problem. I'll pay whatever needs to be to keep my boys safe. So let's get music up and running. I hope you're all ready for a good sing-song. Lisa, how's your singing voice? Do you need to lubricate it with any water or fizzy lemonades or anything stronger? You don't
sing. Don't sing, won't sing.
Well, the words are up on the screen for you all to get singing along, and our very first one is a great one to start off with, The Papish Goat. Oh, yes, of course we have.
We've got bands to play for you first, but I don't think Valerie wants to play them. I think she just wants to ignore the how many bands is it we had? What the 3 bands that we had? Just does this mean these are actually off your good list on your bad list?
Professional as always. That's us. Started late. The rerun of the first show overran, and now I'm missing out bands. Well, as we had always done last year, we're starting off this year again in the same way. If it was a band's parade during the week or a band's parade on tonight, we are going to include clips of that band at the start of every show. So this week it was St. Patrick's Day, and there's always 2 huge parades happen on St. Patrick's Day. The largest parade actually in Northern Ireland happens in Armagh, and it is of course Cormean Rising Sons of William. Here's a little clip from them at their own parade the last time it was held. Believe it or not, in 2019, I can remember Cormean were the first people to cancel the parade, and they did get a lot of stick about it at the time, but it's proved it was the right decision. Well done to Cormean for leading the way there and making that brave choice. But this is them back in 2019. I'm just laughing. China has sent me a message. He says, "Well done, the 100th show. It's dragging on. Time to go." Talking about making us feel good, China. Now, next up is the other band who would have had their parade on St. Patrick's Night. It is, of course, a local Coleraine band here. It is the Ulster Protestant Boys. And again, this is them at their parade in 2019. And thanks to Lisa for picking all of these clips.
You're welcome.
That us back? Yes? No? Yes? I was typing answering messages there. And I just heard the tune finishing out the corner of my eye. See, professional as always, slick as anything, honestly. We're doing so well. Now, was Monkstown tonight, Lisa, or tomorrow?
Was it?
It would have been tonight.
It would have been tonight. Chris is there as well. Thank you, Chris. Though, move your camera over or cuddle up closer, you two, so we can see the both of you at sets. There could be baby number 3. Baby number 3.
No. Two's bad enough.
You could call it Valerie, or if it's a wee boy, Roy.
No, not another girl. No. I've 2.
He's outnumbered.
I'm outnumbered in this house, Lisa, as well.
I must say, it's good to see Chris with a decent top on tonight.
Yeah, if you can say so.
You can't see it, but he's wearing a Man United top, unfortunately. So, let's see. Next up are Monkstown Flip Band, who would have on this occasion always held their Somme Parade. This is again the last time it was held in 2019. What did I say? Did I mention it wrong, Lisa? What did I say? What,
He said
Ballet,
the
I thought
Monkstown. He said the
Did I?
Monkstown Memorial Parade, yeah.
really, I don't know the quality of the presenters in this show nowadays. So it was Monkstown Flute Band. Is that
Yes,
what it
they
was?
usually lead it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys for getting me right.
My mouth moves, but his voice comes out.
I know. Somebody said your voice had broke there very quickly.
Yes, Adam.
And of course, Sammy has told us, yes, that Ballykeel and St. Patrick's Lodge would have been out this weekend. That is for tomorrow because it would have been on the Saturday as well. Believe it or not, it will be 2 years since I last took part in that as well. Oh my goodness. It's Neil says it's not like Valerie to get a band's name or a parade wrong. Roy, Neil, are you being sarcastic? Me? Do something like that? No chance. Absolutely not.
Imagine insulting Neil by calling him Roy. That's just wrong.
I know.
That's just
I
wrong.
know.
It could be worse. You could call him Valerie.
Watch it, you. Now, we're
Granda.
listen, Granda. Yes, good. I'm glad Lisa's on this night because I have backup now. It's brilliant.
All right, Lisa, me being nice to you earlier on and calling you young. That's it. Gloves are off.
Let's get started with this singing now. Have I featured all the bands? Yes. Are we good? Are we good? Can we go? Somebody shouted. What are you drinking, Lisa? Is that alcoholic? She's listening up the vocal cords, you see, ready for the song.
See, I was
And our
going to
first
say
song.
I could mute Lisa, but there's no point muting Lisa because she doesn't say anything.
She's getting more vocal as the time goes on. I mean, this is only the second show. We're getting her. I'll soon get to the stage where I can't get a word in edgewise.
No, I'll be Chris.
Let's get our first song on. This is can Roy take the 3 signs off screen? What 3 signs?
Unfortunately, I can't because we've got a second person in the call. The 3 signs, which is the mute, the hang up, and the camera, stays up there, unfortunately, so I can't take them off.
Oh, in the middle.
Yeah.
Ah, right. I see.
This is
I
why
see.
I've been telling you to dip your cameras down a bit so that yours are when you sit back, you're fine, Valerie, but whenever you come close to the camera, then you're getting in it.
Okay,
then-
so if I do that there, is that any better?
Yeah, it's perfect now. And
Heavens,
Lisa
I
needs to
missed-
tip hers down a wee bit.
It takes a minute for me to see it. I was letting you all see the 100th balloons
Still
that
can.
I had got done for today. I think they're great.
They're
I'll
awesome.
keep them until it's your birthday, Roy, which isn't that far away.
That's all right, because we can't keep them for yours because you're already past 100.
Right, first song.
Ding,
Let's
ding.
go. Let's go. Thank you, Lisa. Let's go. The Papish Goat. The words are on the screen. Let me hear you singing along.
In the county down close to Seaford town, all at Drummond did dwell. An old rogue there you would compare with the minor judge of hell. Sure on Rogan's rocks he does feed his flocks, and he had a goat last year that was 3-year old, so I've been told, and he loved that goat most dear. Now this old Kyo boy, he got up one day with his goat some pence to earn, nor little thought of the gunk he'd get when the cruel truth he'd learn. For the orange men had been round that night, you may guess what he did say, when the horns and flesh of the goat lay there and the hide had gone away. Sure he ran hot-footed to Seaford town, and he to the squire did say, Sir, some hell's kin my goat did skin, and your rent I cannot pay. Then the gentleman he began to laugh till he drove the old rogue mad, and he let a howl and he swore by his soul he would have it off Drumsnad. Then he came to mind of a boast they'd made when they walked on the last 12th day, that they'd head their drum with a Papish hide for the Protestant boys to play. Then he let a shout just like hell come out, and a bad word did he say, till the rage grew wild and like a child he could neither curse nor pray. And when that he to his home returned, sure his cries would cleave the sky, saying they never will have luck for the skinning of me buck till the time they droop and die. But on the 12th day of July it does nearly drive him dumb, for to hear the sound of the Papish goat in the head of their orange drum.
to hear the sound of the pigfish go. At the head of the Lawrence run.
Pippish goat there. I love it. And the stories that they tell as well. And I absolutely adore all those old Orange songs. And we've got mixtures in here tonight as well of the older ones and some of the more recent ones that everyone will know. So there'll be absolutely something for everyone to sing along with. Now, I think it was actually my mum asked a really good question. Who has seen all 100 shows? I saw a few people. I know that Harry MacArthur is one of the ones who has definitely seen all the 100 shows, he says. Philip Mackay says he's seen between about 90 to 95. Jennifer McAllister, I think, said she saw, it was either 98 or 99. Just going back in the text in there. Who said CD for everyone who's seen approximately 100 shows? Amanda. Yes, David Sheridan says he's seen plenty of them. 98 of them was Jennifer. Yeah. Mum, you've seen all 90. You've seen all 100, haven't you? I think you have. You would need to be. If my own mother can't support me, who can? Linda says she's seen all 100, and you even were commenting on our trial runs, Linda, as well. Lorraine Boyd was commenting on my trial run, as was Glenn Miller. So there's been a lot of you about since day one, hasn't there? Joel Jackson says he has seen them all. Edward Fellows says he saw 99. He missed one after his jab. Robert Lee says fantastic concept for tonight's show. It's not our first karaoke, but we had quite a few of ones asking for another karaoke, so we thought, well, it's 100, so something a wee bit different. John Hewitt has seen all 100 shows. I think you have. I thought it was you asked, Muriel. No. Jean Kerr seen 95. 100 says, is that you saying you've seen all 100, William? Not sure.
Andrew Ferguson on YouTube has written, can you give Myrtle and Robert a mention, who have been fans since episode 1?
Excellent.
And Yvonne Johnson's glad to hear the wee doggo's a bit better. And
thank you all.
Only 4 Home Nations has said episode 1 to now, look how far they've come.
I'm not sure we've improved that much. Now, Kenny Dummigan's watched 98 of them. Who else is on that there? Karina and Ray McHugh have watched all 100 of them. Well done. Mark Anderson says we've come a long way since we started Under the Stairs. Brilliant, Mark. Brilliant. Neil says he's seen them all, some more than once. Alison McKellar's 94. Craig Curry says he's still on 100, but not always live. Some nights she was busy, and that's understandable. China says East Belfast Present Boys haven't been played in 20 weeks. It's a disgrace. I think that must be the way that you're counting your change, China. Reggie Joy and Jasmine has seen all 100. Dave and Victoria have seen all 100.
I'm sure East Belfast Present Boys was played between 7 and 8 there.
They were. That's what I tell you. And even before that, they were played no less than 2 weeks. Last Friday night they were played. They were in the first 25. Danielle Lewis has watched 100, as has Keith McEnany. Margaret Lindy Cole Alexander's seen about 90. Thank you all for sticking with us, because it wouldn't be a show without you guys. Colin Johnson says we need drink, but the offie is closed. Buy in advance, Colin. Friday and Saturday nights, make sure you're well stocked up in advance. Amy Gordon definitely has seen all 100 from start to finish. Dougie Aiken was wondering, have I done one and got all the band names right? Very good, Dougie. Caesar's
the answer to that question is no.
There's bound to be. As if it's been over 100 shows since the bands were properly on the road. You're right, Michelle. It has been crazy. Sam Carson was a great singer of songs. He really, really was. There's quite a few of his in tonight's show. The next one of which It's probably more familiar of a tune to everyone. Maybe you don't know the words, but you'll definitely know the tune. I've heard it played as a waltz. I've also heard it played as a march. So when we hear the bands play it, it's most definitely as a march. But it's a fantastic song. It tells the traditions of the Orange Order, and some of the thinking behind it, and the connection of the orange and blue, as the name of the song is. Hope you enjoy this one. Sing along.
What brethren are met in their order so grand, what a beautiful sight for to view. I was ordered to stand by a brother's command to receive the bright orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. I was ordered to stand by a brother's command to receive the bright orange and blue. In darkness I entered, the Lord he knows where, first bound up in chains it is true. And my shoes from my feet I did then cast away to receive the bright orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. And my shoes from my feet I did then cast away to receive the bright orange and blue. A rumbling noise just like thunder I heard presented itself to my view. You would stand with amazement to see and proclaim to receive the bright orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. You would stand with amazement to see them proclaim to receive the bright orange and blue. Light unto me was revealed, I became a fresh soul quite anew. And I'll stand by my cause, by religion and laws, and I'll die for the orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. And I'll stand by my cause, my religion and laws, and I'll die for the orange and blue. Let us join heart and hand and like King William stand in defence of a cause just and true. Let the boyne be our guide where our forefathers died in defence of the orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. Let the boyne be our guide where our forefathers died in defence of the orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. To receive the bright orange and blue. Let the boyne be our guide where our forefathers died in defence of the orange and blue.
Thankfully, Roy, don't put me on the screen, okay? Because
Loving the dancing, Valerie. Loving the dancing.
I know, I've just poured my first gin and I'm dancing away here, so no screens tonight, okay? I'm enjoying this. First gin, I had a bother getting it. It took nearly the first tune to get it opened. Tonight we're in rhubarb and ginger. Very, very tasty. Very, very tasty indeed. China says, do you think we'll hit 200 shows of Kovo Goes On? He says, I hope not, because he couldn't stick this carry on. China, I sincerely hope not too. I am so hoping for normality sooner rather than later. I definitely don't want us to hit 200, that's for sure. If we even hit 110, I would be happy. Like, get us back out there. You know, we want on the road, we want parading again. But we have to make sure that it's safe. And that's the main thing. Funny, I've I was doing a documentary today for the BBC. No, it will be on the 20th of April, Spotlight. It's a programme about the 100th anniversary. And what does he call your guy? He used to be the political editor. Gavin, no. Used to see him all the time reporting out from Spotlight or from outside Stormont. Well, anyway, he was asking about, you know, if we go by the English restrictions lifted, it might be the end of June when things go back to normality. And as I said, well, like the end of June, if the Northern Ireland government goes with Westminster, the end of June is almost too close to the 12th of July. And having hundreds upon hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people traveling in buses in that small packed thing, we might be allowed to do it, but is it wise to do it? I don't know. It's such a tough one because we're missing it so much. And it was so nice to get back to more normality, but I have to be aware of the safety as well. Do you know what I mean? Because I have folks like my parents to think of and all those kind of things. Oh no, says Craig, Valerie's in the gin, karaoke songs will be renamed. There's a very, very good chance of it. Next one is a fantastic song. Again, you will enjoy this, and I'm sure your feet will be tapping along. This is Southdown Militia.
I belong to a noble regiment whose deeds were often told. For on the field of battle they were always brave and bold. They've loyal hearts as well, and true as any steel. And the place they show their bravery is on the battlefield. Why you talk about your King's Guard, Scots, Greys and all? You may sing about your Kilties and your gallant 44. And of any other regiment under the King's command, the Southdown Militia is the terror of the land. Oh boys, but it was grand when in action first to join, along with noble William at the Battle of the Boyne. Says King James, I'll take the first train home, it's more than I can stand, for them Southdown Militia are the terror of the land. While you talk about your King's Guard, Scots, Greys and all, you may sing about your Kilties and your gallant 44. And of every other regiment under the King's command, the Southdown Militia is the terror of the land. Now there's French and Turks and Prussians and brave Italians too. There's Greeks and ancient Romans, not forgetting the Zulu. But from Greenland's icy mountains to Indians' coral strand, the Southdown Militia is the terror of the land. While you talk about your King's Guard, Scots, Greys and all, you may sing about your Kilties and your gallant 44. And of every other regiment under the King's command, the Southdown Militia is the terror of the land. Now at the Jubilee, the Irish Rifles they marched by. Her Majesty observed them with a keen and martial eye. Och, Major Wallace, says the Queen, them boys of yours look grand. Ach, how your tongue says woozy, them's the terror of the land. Why you talk about your King's Guard, Scots, Greys and all, you may sing about your Kilties and your gallant 44. And of any other regiment under the King's command, the Southdown Militia is the terror of the land.
I love that. I think that's brilliant. You'll recognise the tune, of course. Lots of flip bands play it, but that's the words behind it as well. Now, our next one tells of this is actually a true story, believe it or not. There are a lot more verses in it than what have been recorded here, purely because I think there's something like 23 verses, which would have made it a very, very long song. But it is a true story. This really did happen. Happened very locally to here in the town of Garva. And it is, of course, telling you all about the battle.
July fair, the ribbon men they did prepare for 3 miles round to wreck and tear and burn the town of Garva. The Tory whistle loud and shrill, we heard it o'er the high morn hill. Full on, brave boys will slay and kill the Protestants in Garva. Day came on, they did repair, and multitudes to Garva fair. Some travelled 30 miles and more to burn the town of Garva. They all appeared in greatest haste, white handkerchiefs tied round their waists, but their jackets sweet and soundly based at July fair in Garva. Straight away we went for aid, but none to us they sent, this bloody crew all to prevent from their design on Garva. The Protestants and Orange men like brothers did assemble then, to keep the town was their desire, or die like men in Garva. Fired blank shots of no avail, and orange bullets flew like hail, while ribbon men soon turned their tail with deadly wounds from Garva. We gave the word to clear the street, while numbers flew like hunted sheep, while Protestants did Papists meet at Davidson's in Garva. That's it. There we go. But mark what followed this affray, they thought to swear our lives away. To jail we went without delay, we had no guards from Garva. The horrid oaths against us swore, such swearing you ne'er heard before. McCluskey swore 3 hours or more against the boys of Garva. The judge then he would us condemn, had it not been for our jurymen. Our grateful thanks is due to them, for they cleared the boys of Garva. All thanks and praise we'll tender still to Mr. Price and brave George Hill. The Beresfords befriend us still, for they cleared the boys of Garva.
Fantastic song. And if you weren't tapping your feet to it, I think your ankles must be broke.
My ankles must be well and truly welded then.
You just don't like this music. You just don't like it at all. I love it. It's part of us.
I like it when bands today play it. Like East Belfast Pleasant Boys, if they played it, or Rascool, or Pride of the Main, or the Gertrude.
The thing about it is that where do you think the bands got it from?
But they took it, modernised it, brought it into today's society and moved it forward.
It's
talking about today's society. We mentioned something last week that we had a wee giveaway to do on the show this week. And he's in chat at the moment. A certain Mr. Glenn Miller has put pen to paper, or I think he more put his fingers on the keyboard and produced this little book, Made to Parade, and we are going to give away a signed copy this evening. So it's going to be personalised to whoever wins it.
I haven't got a signed copy. Can I have it?
No. So Glenn has chosen a number between 0 and 100, and the first person to come up with the correct number in chat will win the copy. And it's the first one that is seen by either Valerie, myself, Lisa, and Chris, or Glenn. So all you have to do is type a number into chat, one number at a time, and put a hashtag before it, and because that will stop you from getting a chat ban. So good luck to that.
Loads of numbers coming in there, watching them very carefully. So Glenn has already picked the number. I have it written down here. Lisa and
Oh, there's a
Roy
couple numbers very close
well.
to it.
we do have quite a few numbers close. Yeah, still more numbers coming in that are close, but nobody's got it yet. So we're just watching and waiting. Tomorrow night, while we're looking for all these numbers, tomorrow night we have got the Muskehounds on for our 101st show. We thought that would be a really, really good time, and we're going to kind of go with the theme of Room 101. And
No,
Glenn, can you?
Kenny.
No, you can't. You can't. We're going to go as a theme with Room 101 with the Muskehounds. So think up for tomorrow night what you would put in Room 101, okay? I'm going to say now it is not going to be related to anything Protestant. So you can't say another band or you can't say accordions, Roy. So keep the ideas, and we'll do that all tomorrow night. And then the Muskehounds also have, one of the Muskehounds is a little giveaway for tomorrow night as well. So if you don't win tonight, you might be lucky tomorrow night. Nobody's got the right number as yet, Roy.
Nope.
Wait.
Oh, Glenn says we have a winner.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Do we?
Yep.
I don't. Did I
Haven't
miss
come up
it?
with mine yet.
Not with mine.
Yes, yep.
Well, that's all we needed was confirmation from either somebody. So somebody, who was it?
David Sheridan.
David Sheridan. Congratulations, Mr. Sheridan.
I can't even see it. I'm scrolling back. Where is it? I genuinely can't see the comment.
Neither can I.
The number was 73. You guys can see it on the screen, yeah?
Yep, I can see it.
Right, okay. There is our winner, folks. You don't need to submit any numbers any longer. David Sheridan is our winner of the signed book from Made to Parade. So, David, forward us over your address and we'll get that sent out to you. Well done. Congratulations. 73 was the number.
Glenn Miller says it's Gary Bryan.
It's Gary Bryan. Oh, absolute confusion here now. David Sheridan, number 73. Who's that from? That's from Lisa. Is that from Lisa?
We've got the photograph sent, so that's fine.
Yeah, we've got the photograph from Lisa. We will double check. Guy Bryan. I can't see any of these comments.
So before Glenn said we had a winner, David Sheridan's got it in there, so that's fine. That's
okay.
Good by me. So Mr. Sheridan.
Okay. Well, congratulations to whoever it was. I leave it to the guys who saw the comments. So as far as we're concerned, it's David Sheridan. Apologies if Glenn thought it was Guy Bryan. But we have our winner. So well done. It was number 73. I'm guessing competition chaos is Joshua. Hi. Would you expect anything else from us? Like if that had went smoothly. Yes, the Gert's in it till Lisa and her sidekick. I have no idea what that means. China did send us a wee mention. Someone had mentioned earlier on about the fact that
76.
that the Amanda Adamson says she got 73 fix. Glenn, how many books have you got? I'm guessing that's your date of birth. That's your year of birth, Glenn. Or was that 63? I'm not too sure. Yes, China has sent over a wee message. Someone had put on a comment about getting click and collect in China's shop. China's shop is doing click and collect. It is not open. And as it quite rightly says, don't be supporting the wee pop-up shops that you appear. The guys walking down the street with their shopping trolleys filled with stuff. Go to the shops that are there for us all year round, especially the likes of the Union Jack shop, the shops in the Shankill, the shops on the Newtownards Road, and the people that support us all year round, support them. Because especially in these times, they need the support. Mark Anderson, you cannot put Liverpool in room 101, okay?
Also, have to say one thing. It turns out it was Gary Bryan was first. He was 1 minute before.
Organized chaos. Organized chaos. Ian says, you may knock these old quizzes in the head. More questions than answers. David's number was 75. Oh my goodness, I have no idea what is going on now. It's complete organized chaos.
So Gary and David will both get a book. I will square Glenn for the second book. So
I was going to do that myself anyway. So Gary and Glenn, Gary and David, if you both send us your addresses, we'll make sure that both of you. Okay. Hi. It's absolute chaos. It's absolute chaos. What else would it have been? Like, seriously, what else would a quiz in this here have been? We'll try for a little bit more normality tomorrow night when we do the draw for the Muskehounds prize. 73, the number of times East Belfast Protestant Boys have been on. You're not far away, Alex. You're definitely not far away. Now, back to the singing. The next one is a wee one called The Crimson Banner. A Crimson, of course, which is the Apprentice Boys of Derry. And this one is all related to the Apprentice Boys. And again, it's good to have all of these songs and the history behind them, because they do all tell a story. And we're always saying about how we don't know our history and we don't know our background and we don't know our facts and all that kind of stuff. But actually, let's never turn up if Valerie's posting, Jimmy Graham. That's terrible. Yeah. Yeah, well, we're always saying about, we don't know our past well enough. Listen to the lyrics of the songs, and a lot of these will tell you the truth of what happened. So this one is The Crimson Banner.
Behold, the crimson banner flows through yonder torrent hoary. It tells of days of mighty noon, and there is deathless glory. When her brave sons on Dunsett stood in battle to defend her, and Digler steamed oppression's flood and sang like no surrender. And it's the boys that fear none eyes and never will surrender. Against we close against our foes on the 18th of December. Well, there it was, were firm and strong, fenced in every quarter. Each frowning Bathy and Grimmalong, with Halverin and with Porter. But Derry had a surer guard that all the art could lend her. Her prentice hearts the gates were barred and sang like no surrender. If the boys that fear no noise, but never will surrender. The gates we close against our foes on the 18th of December. Again and treason mad and fun and rebel hordes were swarming. The Derry son before was trying for king and country army. Forth they rushed at honour's top, from age to boyhood tender. Again to man their virgin wall and sang like no surrender. Here's the boys that fear no noise and never will surrender. The gates we close against our foes on the 18th of December. Long may the crimson banner wave from meteor streaming Mary, for tempest of the free and brave demand the walls of Derry. And Derry some elect defend, no traitor or pretender, and ring the tender fences cry their patriot no surrender. But here's the boys that fear no noise and never will surrender. The gates we close against our foes on the 18th of December.
Shorter than I was expecting. I was just getting into that one. Amanda Adamson says that she gets 73 as well. So we're just going to check that out. And if that's the case, Roy can buy another book and I can buy another book. And
that
we'll
was
get all
after,
sorted.
I think I seen Amanda's come in, but I think it was after, it was in the delay bit between us saying there was a winner and it being broadcast by us. I think it was in that bit. So I don't think it would count. But she did have I did see 73 from her.
Well, there wasn't that many 73, so we'll manage to get Glenn sorted out in some way. Now, Brian Goody says, any chance of some marching bands? We had 4 marching bands on at the beginning of the show, Brian, but this is our 100th show. So what we said we would do is just a karaoke for tonight, just for, because a few were asked, and I thought tonight's as good a night as any, really, isn't it? So, Robert Lee says we wouldn't have as many great tunes played by bands today if it wasn't for these great songs. That's absolutely true. Mark Anderson says, what about the famous song To Get in the Order You Ride on a Goat? I don't think I have it. Don't think I have it on the night. No, I'm fairly certain I don't actually. I'm trying to think of the proper name of it. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Now, this next one is normally, it's normally the end tune of the show. But so many people of you, it's amazing the way that so many of you watch to the very end and the very last notes of the show. And I know that quite a lot of you really enjoy this one. And a lot have actually asked for the words. We decided to do it as a karaoke version. This is The Landing of Torbay, also known as The Old Mud Cabin. Had to think there for a minute and go through it in my head. That was what that was all. So it is The Mud Cabin. Thank you, Tommy. So this is Landing of Torbay with the words on the screen. So no excuse now for singing along. I think I know them off by heart by now. I've listened to them at least 100 times.
It was when England's glorious sun in 1688 was overcast with treason's cloud and popery stood elate, that up arose her Protestants, the peasant and the peer, and vowed the chain of perjure James that they would not dainty wear. They sought them out a prudent chief to guide their heart and zeal, to lead them on that victory might bless their flashing steel. And who so fit to guide that host in all its bright array as William, Prince of Orange, ere he landed at Torbay. Then up arose the mighty chief and left his native shore, and rode upon the stormy waves our freedom to restore. Upon his flag was blazoned forth, high fluttering o'er the main, that our religion and our laws he ever would maintain. 'Twas then in gallant style he stood upon the vessel's prow, with victory on his flashing sword and wisdom on his brow. And tens of thousands greeted him upon his natal day, when he, our glorious Orange chief, first landed at Torbay. Come, brethren of the Orange bond, a bond ne'er to be riven. Whene'er we give great William's name, a bumper must be given. For if you'd fire a fou de joie to him who victory won, come prime and load and see you get charge into your gun. The eloquence of bumpers full, there's nothing can surpass. There's naught expresses kindred soul like friendship's social glass. And thus we give our song and toast with 3 times 3 huzzah, the memory of King William and his landing at Torbay. The memory of King William and his landing at Torbay.
Somebody asked, was that the end tune for all 100 shows? Yes, it actually has been. The only time it hasn't been the end tune is when it was featured in the show as one of the karaoke numbers that has been played, and perhaps
The very first week.
the very first week.
So it's 98 shows. It's been 98 shows, 97 shows because take off the karaoke one. It's 97 shows.
So 97 times we've listened to that, and it's still a great song. I love it. I really do love it. Denise says she'll soon be looking at a tank of oxygen to keep up. Lisa, keep you running. or Lisa, Denise, keep you the singing up. That's what we want to hear. Lisa, are you singing there? Because you've been very quiet.
Nope.
No, it's Chris singing.
Just dancing away.
Well, at
Just
least
follow
you're
along.
dancing and tapping your foot, which is better than Roy's doing. Imagine not liking this stuff.
I honestly can't stand all the
You get
ones
no
so far.
color,
When we get a bit further down, they do get better in my opinion. But no, this stuff doesn't float my boat.
What did you say, Lisa?
He's getting old, that's why his hearing's going.
I know. Granda Roy. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, first tune this evening was the 3 Cheers for King Billy, kindly sent to me by Yvonne Johnson. Gavin says it's on the CD we won in the quiz. It is indeed. If I remember right, I also included the lyrics in the booklet as well. You'll recognise a few of those tunes. For any of you who have listened to the CD, you'll recognise a few of them this evening. Now, the next one is another cracking one. Spot of the SA. Send you the spot of the SAS spot in Gibraltar. Oh, that's a new one for me. Look, Yvonne has said that she will send me a copy of The Ride in the Goat. It's actually one that I don't think I have. I just checked there and I don't seem to have it. I'm sure I could probably find it. But Yvonne, if you have a rip of it, please do send me it. There's 3 fantastic singers. There is Sam Carson. There's Richard Haywood. And then there is really good CD by a group called Howl Your Waist. And it's all this kind of stuff and it's brilliant. Some of the shows I've included, the starting tune, Boyne's Red Shores, which is another brilliant tune. There's kind of like a monologue talking about the Battle of the Boyne. It's all that CD, actually, the Howl Your Waist CD is all on YouTube. So if you're ever inclined, have a wee look on YouTube. And you'll hear all the great tracks in that there. It is absolutely brilliant. Glenn says we might get a Facebook ban for Riding the Goat. I don't know. I don't know. Denise says these old songs are a great way to learn about your history. They are, because to be quite honest, a lot of them just tell the story and the history of what actually happened. The next one, I can't remember whether... I can't remember off the top of my head the lyrics, which is terrible to say, but it is Ochillee Heroes. So we'll be able to discuss after the song's played whether it's telling actual factual stuff. I think the Ochillee Heroes are about a lodge from memory. I could be wrong. I know that maybe hasn't happened before, but I could be wrong. But let's have a sing along to it anyway.
You Protestant heroes of Ireland, give ear to these lines I sing now. Our number was 632. We are the Ochillee Heroes that will mix and rebel subdue. We took off our hats to salute him, so boldly he bade us pass on, and he rode like a hero before us till we came to the planks of the path. And when we arrived safe and the brandy did flow like the Rhine. Long life to these Ochillee heroes, for they are the boys close before.
Love it. Love it. Ochillee Heroes. Oh my goodness. Now, someone asked for this song a few minutes ago. It's a really, really popular song. Both the tune and the song itself. A local councillor here in Coleraine, Russell Watton, it's one of his party tricks when he said a few too soft lemonades too many. Isn't that how we can put it? He's been known to sing this one a time or two. The great thing about it is that it talks about a lot of the towns in Northern Ireland, which is fantastic. It also commemorates the gun running of those years in the 1912s, 1913s. So this is the Union Cruiser.
Far across the stormy ocean in our happy northern home, where our countrymen are arming to resist the wiles of Rome, I can see the Union Cruiser in the harbour of Belfast, and the orange flag of liberty is floating on her mast. Every city, town and village in our happy northern coast is preparing to defend itself against the Redmond host. From the shores of Carrickfergus to the margins of Lough Neagh, there's 100,000 orange men preparing for the fray. Marfelt and Castle Dawson, Mahara and Tobermore are as eager for the conflict as they were in days of yore. Colnady and the Tamlock boys, still loyal to the throne, are responding to the battle cry that comes from Portland known. The fighting men of Garva and the Sprigs of Old Kilray, with their armour brightly burnished and their flags and banners gay, send a ringing call to arms rolling o'er our native hills, that was heard at Ballymoney, Ahadoe and Bushmills. Every loyal heart is throbbing in the town of Stout Coleraine, where the men of proven value are assembled on the plains. Good courageous self-reliance from the lips of every man brings a cheer of bold defiance rolling o'er the river Bann. From the crest of Katy Mountains I can see the bayonets gleam, hear the roll of martial music and the valley winding stream, where the loyal Mavati men that never feared a foe are resting in their arms in the valley of the Roe. In the streets of Londonderry there's a grand inspiring scene, where apprentice boys are arming to defend our maiden queen, and our walls are stoutly guarded by defenders of the soil, and the cry of no surrender echoes o'er the river Foyle. Ye loyal sons of Ulster, who have of your valour shown on the crimson field of battle as defenders of the throne, put your trust in God above, be courageous, calm and cool, and the North can bid defiance to John Redmond and Home Rule, and the North can bid defiance to John Redmond and Home Rule.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, there are a lot of you asking where you can get the CDs having all of these songs on them. There's a lot of them have been collected over the years by myself, and then we put the lyrics on them as well. And if you go to the Ulster Bands Forum YouTube channel, which is where a lot of you are watching this live broadcast tonight, you will find them all in there. There's a playlist, Loyalist Karaoke, and all of these tunes are in here. You can find them all. You can probably download them from YouTube, rip them off YouTube, and then throw them on CD for yourself if you want to have them in the car or an MP3 player or whatever. They're all great songs. Now, we had a clip up next. Unfortunately, the YouTube clip doesn't seem to be working, so we're going to try and find it again. But for now, we're going to go to the next clip. This is a beautiful song, slowing it down slightly for now. It's a little song about a city up the road here from us, but half an hour away. We usually all travel to it in August. And I love this song. I really do enjoy it. It's Londonderry on the Foyle. Make sure you all sing along.
Tonight I dream about my maiden city. I'll go back to the days I spent there as a boy. I dream about the friends I left behind me in my city, Londonderry on the Foyle. Well, my mother, she writes to me here twice weekly, and she tells me all the things are going on, and she tells me of the bombings and the shootings in my city, Londonderry on the foil. But tonight I lie upon my bed, I'm dreaming. I am dreaming of the friends I left behind, and I dream about my sweetheart in the fountain in my city, Londonderry on the foil. But once more I'm coming home aboard the steamship, on Loch Foyle once more I'm passing by Culmore, and I see those old grey walls still firmly standing there round my city, Londonderry on the foil. I can see the old cathedral, it's still standing, and not far away the old memorial hall, and I see the crimson banner, it's still flying over my city, Londonderry on the foil. Over my city, Londonderry on the foil.
That's a really nice version of it as well. And I've also heard, particularly Churchill, do a beautiful version of it as a, just a music number without singers. Though I don't know, I think Janice or some of the guys could sing along with the band. It's Mandy Stout says Jimbo was having a sing along to this and it's not good. You just sing up, Jim, as loud as you can, because that's exactly what these songs are all about. Brilliant song. Love it. Love it. There is some fantastic songs. Jim Werner has the backing track. Ken Kerr's version of Londonderry and the Foil is good as well, says Yvonne Johnson. Yvonne's a bit like myself. She loves all this old music. The Ulster Bands Forum could be funded as cultural education. It is. As someone said earlier on, that it's great to hear the words of the songs rather than just the tunes themselves when the bands are playing them. And it does tell you about your history, and it does give you a little bit of background. I posted a link actually today. The great thing about the pandemic, if you can say anything there's good about it, is that there's been an awful lot of lectures and talks going online that normally would have been in person, and it's really hard to attend them, because a lot of them's in Belfast in the Prony offices and places like that there, and when you're having to spend an hour traveling at the end of the working day to get up there, it's kind of, you don't really tend to bother. But the fact that they're online means that you can do them from the comfort of your own home and from your sofa. So I posted the link to one coming up, I think it's next week, I can't remember now the dates, but it's about the Battle of the Boyne. And it's by Dr. Gordon Lucy, who is a wonderful historian. He's wrote quite a lot of books for the Orange Order as well. But it gives you a background of it. You're sitting in the house. It's better than something that's in the TV. I've been doing loads of them at the minute. I think there's about 4 a week that I'm doing every week. I'm doing one on partition, doing one on the history of Northern Ireland from its conception onwards. I'm doing one about kind of the history of Ulster, beforehand, from Home Rule right on through. Actually, it's gone from the beginnings of Ulster, the myth of the Red Hand and all that kind of stuff. And I'm doing one in genealogy, and there's another one about the Williamite Wars. So like that's a couple of hours every night on 4 nights of the week. Of course, I don't do anything on a Friday and Saturday because we're here. But it's definitely worth doing, and you always learn something. I love doing them. I have a notebook filled with notes from all the different classes that I've been doing or lectures that I've been listening to, and they are fantastic. Queen's University Student Union, the Orange Society in there, also do one. Joshua Morse is a member of that, or in the committee. They do it, do the odd one as well. So I'll start sharing any of those that I see. You can see there's loads of ones about World War I. You can do virtual battlefield tours. I did one of the D-Day beaches. It's really take advantage of this time when we can't really go anywhere, and take advantage of the time and educate yourselves, because it's our history, and I firmly believe that not knowing our history gives us a lack of confidence. If we don't know where we've been, we don't know where we're going. And the Catholic maintained sector schools beat the history into their pupils. They know their history inside out. And I believe that's where the difference, or partially where the difference in confidence between the two communities lies. I think we should know our history more than what we currently do. Because I see it all the time on social media, on some of the Facebook debates, people are talking about partition, of all that stuff. Knowledge is power, Gillian said exactly right. I see it all the time in debates about partition of Ireland, especially coming up to this time, the 100th anniversary. And there are people on there, and you see them coming in with all these things about the partition of Ulster. And there's so much that we can be saying in response, but when we don't know it, we don't do it. For instance, the partition of Northern Ireland and the counties of Ulster, the 6 counties of Ulster, didn't change. We were part of the United Kingdom before partition, and we were part of the United Kingdom after partition. The only people that changed were the southern states, not us. They changed, not us. It was their push to become independent from the UK that caused partition, not Northern Ireland. So why should Northern Ireland have to alter now, 100 years later?
The other thing I would say is the only time Ireland was ever united was under British rule, because before that it was Ulster, Munster, Lennox, Connaught. They were all separate, ruled by separate chieftains, so they never were united. So the only time they want to unite Ireland, they can have it under British rule.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, all these Irish Americans, my ancestors are Irish. They're not. They're British, because when your ancestors left Ireland, no matter whether it was north or south, they were British. They were under British rule. So there's so much we can say. Luke Brown says he went to a staunch unionist school, and we were taught very little. I went to a grammar school in Ballymoney. You can't get a more Protestant town than Ballymoney. And we were taught none of it. None of it. We were taught about the Tudor kings and queens. We weren't taught about the history of Northern Ireland.
And the assassination of President Kennedy, or...
Yeah. My son's doing history for his O-levels now. And thankfully they are doing the Troubles 69 onwards. But it's a very watered down version of it, because they don't want to cause anybody offence. He actually dared to come home to me one night, and there was a conversation started about the Battle of the Bogside and Bloody Sunday and all that kind of stuff. And, the army was in the wrong. What? Is this what you're being taught? I says, no, I'm watching videos on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And this is what is out there for our youth. So who better to educate our youth than their parents, to tell them what actually happened, about the threats and the danger that the army were living on, and the slaughter of army men just a few days before Bloody Sunday, and how they came under attack, even though nobody admits it. Truth bombs are dropping tonight, says Glenn. They are, but it's true, and it's by knowing our history that you can then make those points in any debates by those people. I can remember many years ago, myself and Quincy Duggan went to a seminar in Belfast. We were the only 2 Protestants there. We were the only 2 represented. And it was all obviously nationalists. And there was 2 young nationalists. They were 15, 16. And they spoke with such eloquence, with such confidence. They were able to debate, put their positions across. And we were looking at each other going, can you imagine a 14, 15-year-old from our community doing that? Like, it's scary. And that's why it's that confidence is drilled in them because they know their history. Right. Enough Battle of Hastings for Denise Gordon and those guys. Yes, we did that as well. Muriel says she lived most of it living it. Totally. Your generation and people of my mother's age group lived through the Troubles. I lived through some of the Troubles. My son, I can remember many years ago, he saw a policeman with a gun for the first time and was so taken aback through it. And I had to sit and go, that was commonplace for me when I was growing up. My mother pushed my pram past a bomb in Coleraine about 10 minutes before it exploded. I might not have been here to this day. These are all things that we forget about. We don't talk about it any longer. Whereas there's an awful lot of, we are the most oppressed people ever. We've been most badly done to, and friends might always talk about how they lived in Londonderry and their conditions were as bad as the people who joined the civil rights. And the civil rights movement was overtaken by the IRA and Sinn Féin with a distinct agenda. Oh, right, okay, now. Stop lecture. You got me in a soapbox. But it's something I feel really, really, really passionate about. It's something that I think is something important to us. Now, what song are we going to next? Right. So we're going to the song that we couldn't get. Now, we haven't pre-vetted this song, okay? The version that I had vetted and looked at on my list, I knew was a great version of it. So I don't know what this is like. The channel that had hosted the version that I'd picked is no longer active. But this is an alternative version. I hope it's good for us. We'll know after we've listened to it. This is Gunrunners.
was 18 years of age. Carson's army I engaged to fight for Ulster against Home Rule. A Mauser rifle was my tool. On Covenant Day, my first parade, when over 500,000 promised day. We go to fight the enemy now, so we landed 50,000 guns at Larne. We go to fight the enemy now, so we landed 50,000 guns at Larne. That April night I'll never forget, dispersing guns to face the threat. Throughout the length of our beloved land, the die was cast, we made our stand. But another foe lay before us now. Home rule was dead beneath the plough. When across to France our division sailed, Britain called, we could not fail. When across to France our division sailed, Britain called, we could not fail. Now the story's told and it's understood of a charge that morning in Thieful Wood, when Ulster's brave their lives did give, so that we at home in freedom would live. Well, alas, I fell on Some's great shore. I was not alone, there was thousands more. From every street, town and dale, a father's son or a brother fell. From every street, town and son or a brother fell. They were gun runners. They were gun runners.
Some brilliant comments coming in there just in the fact of knowing our history. It's something that I've got more and more enthusiastic about the older I've get, I have to be say. And someone was saying, Carol Porter says she was taught Irish history, but not what she would call our history. That's kind of, yeah, that's what the school curriculum was. William Torrance says, us in Scotland had every aspect of Scottish history and British up till about 10 years ago. Did that include our version of the Northern Ireland history? Craig Curry says our history teacher was a deep loyalist and taught us all things Orange, and that was a school in Strabane. That's probably very rare, Craig. You're probably the exception to the rule there, I would imagine. Joshua is going to send us links to some of the Queen's University lectures, and we'll share them on the Ulster Bands Forum page for you guys all to watch. They're definitely, I mean, some of them you might find boring because it's not an area you're interested in, but you'll always learn something. Jim Werner says Catholics only learn about the plantation. There's another one, Jim. Perfect example. Did you know the plantation was sectarian and it was only Catholics died and had to migrate because of it? So, you know, like if you were Protestant and your next door neighbor was a Catholic, you have feasts every week, but they died from starvation. Oh my goodness. Our biggest problem as regards youth is integrated schools, says Alistair. I've learned something recently. Did you know that after partition, it was actually the Protestants who pushed for integrated education? Because at that stage, the education system would have been controlled by Protestant thinking. However, it was the Catholic Church who refused to have anything to do with it. And of course, now they want integrated education because they would be able to control it. It's all about control. Gillian says our kids aren't taught local history, but Jensen's teacher in P2 was blown away with his knowledge. Absolutely. And that's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Jerry Gardner, good question. There are 9 counties at one point and Ulster had to pick 6. Maybe I'm wrong. Valerie, can you let me know? There's 9 counties in Ulster. There are the 6 counties that she know about. I mean, I said the other day, fat lad to my young boy, he was going, what are you on about? It's the mnemonic for remembering the counties of Ulster, of Northern Ireland. Fermanagh, Antrim, Tyrone, London, Derry, Armagh, Down. Fat lad. There was also Cavan, Monaghan and Donegal. So there was the 9 counties of Ulster. But when it came to partition, first of all, Edward Carson didn't want partition. He wanted the whole of Ireland to stay on the UK. And then when that was becoming obvious that wasn't going to happen, what they did was they said, okay, take Ulster. But when they did the figures and totted the figures up, they found that it would only be a narrow majority with 9 counties of Ulster. And if they took 6 counties of Ulster, it was a higher majority of Protestants. Having said that, that was obviously a time-driven thing because we're not in the vast majority now. But that's why there were 6 rather than 9. And the loyalists in the 3 border counties were really disappointed, and even to this day probably still feel a sense of betrayal at the fact that they were left behind by the Unionists in the north, in the other 6 counties. There's actually a really great quote that I only found out last week, where when the border county Unionist representatives took a delegation to Belfast, one of the Unionist reps there said to them, you know, well, if a boat is sinking and you've only enough lifeboats for 70% of them, you don't let the whole 100% die. You save the 70% and you know, basically tough, you know, which is appalling attitude, absolutely appalling. But it's you know, it's how things were back then. Look, Brian said he tried looking for a Northern Irish history course in tech. Unfortunately, no such thing. Nope. Valerie, write a book, I'll buy one. Are you trying to make me into a Glen, Tad? Is that what it is? Thomas Gare says, in an old fart, the only exam I came first in was about the Reformation, 1560 to 1960, and I'm still very proud of it. Well done, you. Kate Miller's made a book recommendation, book Londonderry Revisited by Paul Kingsley. You'll get a loyalist view of the civil rights movement. It's on my shelf along with many others. Denise Gordon had asked, did I get the Conspicuous Gallantry book about the UDR there in her area? And yes, I did, Denise, along with a load of ones. Denise sent me a recommendation for a book. I ended up buying it and 4 other ones and cost myself the guts of £100. It's a very expensive one book. Let's see here. Alistair Annette says he watched my grandmother leave her home in Distillery Street in Belfast, and the scumbags standing ready to move in can never forget. Again, totally right, Alistair. You'd think that post-partition, it was only the poor Catholics that were badly done to. Post-partition, in 19 out of the 26 counties, there was atrocities against the Protestants post-partition. The Belfast riots in 1935 in Northern Ireland, were a lot of them were against the Protestant people. Our education system, no sectarian system ever created, endorsed by the government, will never change because the Roman Catholic Church won't give up the maintained sector. Totally right. Margaret says, never take a tour of our walls with the fools here. It's all history they make up. You're right, Margaret. Totally. Definitely, though, pay a visit to the Siege Museum there in Londonderry, for it tells the true story. Jim Verner and the guns from the gun runners were paid by Arthur McGuinness. They were indeed. Val, I think you should do a virtual history lesson, £10 a head. All proceeds go to the British Legion. My God, he's not listened to me talk enough. Oh my goodness. Let's get on to our next song. Talking about history, you can't get much more history than this. One of the most famous battles that ever happened to the Protestant people. It is, of course, Dolly's Bray. Make sure you sing along.
'Twas on the 12th day of July in the year of 49, 1,000 of our Irishmen together did combine, in memory of King William on that bright and glorious day, to march around Lord Rawdon's Park and right over Dolly's Bray, to march around Lord Rawdon's Park and right over Dolly's Bray. And when we came to Weir's Bridge, wasn't that a glorious sight, to see so many Irishmen all willing for to fight, to march around the old remains, the music so sweet did it play, and the tune we played was the Protestant boys right over Dolly's Bray, and the tune we played was the Protestant boys right over Dolly's Bray. And as we walked along the road, not fearing any harm, our guns all over our shoulder and our broadswords over our arms, until 2 priests came up to us and to Mr. Spears did say, come turn your men the other road and don't cross Dolly's Bray, come turn your men the other road and don't cross Dolly's Bray. And when we came to Dolly's Bray, they were lined on every side, praying for the Virgin Mary to be their holy guide. We loosened our guns upon them and we give no time to pray, and the tune we played was the Protestant boys right over Dolly's Bray, and the tune we played was the Protestant boys right over Dolly's Bray. There was a damsel amongst us all, and one we shall adore, for she wove the orange around her head and cried Dolly's Bray no more. And if they ever come back again, they'll be 10 times as sore. And we'll christen this King William's Bridge and cry Dolly's Bray no more. And we'll christen this King William's Bridge and cry Dolly's Bray no more.
Again, another true story about a real battle, and again there are loads more verses to that one there. I think it's probably one of the longest songs that I have ever seen, and it's got a load of verses. Roy McPeak says, all Diddy Nipper music, what's wrong with getting a good flute band back to do the back and music? actually wanting to hear the singers, probably a good start. Lisa, are you still there? Or have you fell asleep?
No, I'm still here.
Just trying to
What about
find a
your
time.
turn?
Just trying to find a time to jump in. That's all it is.
You actually have to talk over me. if you
Good
want to.
luck with that, Chris and Lisa.
No, it's just something I feel really, really strongly about. What about your guys' education at school? Did you cover any history?
Famine.
Plenty of history, plantation, the Troubles. Troubles was taught in
GCSE.
4th year, 5th year.
Wow. We never did anything like that at school.
Near to die is, but seeing Sky is getting a little bit of it now. She's in what, P4, but Peter and Kieran at Collybaggy are both getting. They're doing World War One, World War Two, pre-Troubles, and then Troubles.
Yeah, it was quite funny. Whenever Mason was picking his GCSE subjects and he picked history, and I was asking, the history teacher, well, what subjects are covered in the curriculum? And he said, well, we're doing World War II and we are doing the Troubles period, from, the Northern Ireland government right through. And I says, oh, great. I'll be watching that one very carefully. I think he took a bit of fear. Someone else says that they spent 2 hours educating their child's history teacher about the history of the IRA. But it's true enough. There's so much we can learn. Who was it? Andrew Boyle says we're doing a bit, getting a bit deep, brighten the mood. This is our history, Andrew. It's what gives us all these fantastic tunes. Now,
Let's get the collar hat on.
Sorry?
Let's get the collar hat on.
Get the collar out.
And
Get the collar out on,
Chris,
indeed.
just to let you know, Glenn has wrote many have tried to get a word in with Valerie. They're teaching a class on it at the Met, and Glenn's doing a TED talk on it as well. So we'll all have to go to it and see if we can pass it.
These are all very smart, aren't you?
That's his name.
That recording I did this morning, 2.5 solid hours of talking. They'll probably use about 2 minutes. But I praised all of you guys. I said about how wonderful yous are and how yous are all now my friends, even though I've never met you. But the community that we have here is just symptomatic.
I
and
think it's going to
and
take them more than a couple of months to try and work out what 2.5 minutes to use. They're just going to try and work out where you've taken a breath to try and cut things. That's going to be hard. 'Cause I don't believe you breathe. I believe you just got an oxygen supply plugged into you somewhere.
some stage I'll actually have to engage my brain before I start talking, because I'm as surprised as everyone else what comes out of my mouth when it does. Like I have no idea what I'm about to say until I say it. It's the Spotlight on the 20th of April. I will be the fat, spotty one with roots. So you'll recognize me. Okay. Now, Royce, Andrew Irvine says, Roy, you just need to press one button.
What's that, the mute button?
Chris, I heard you laughing from here. That's you're in the wrong camp there, Chris. Lisa, hit my dunt.
No, she will not do that.
Lisa! I love this next tune. If I remember correctly, this is a fantastic performance by Lisa. I think we've even included the video. And it's from the Ulster Hall. I love this. Yeah. Is it not? No, but it's not.
I'll sing a song of history long, a struggle for the Ulster we all love, a border town, a village strong, whose people made allegiance to the crown. In Crossmaglen, there's orange men whose patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be the orange men in Crossmaglen. The IRA's bazookas roar, their armor lights go crackle in the night. But pretty soon they'll know the score. The PAF are joining in the fight. Cross McGlen, who've killed and maimed the Protestants at home and tried to spread their genocide, will have to find their sanctuary in Rome. In Cross McGlen, there's Orange Man, whose patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be the Orange Man in Cross McGlen. In Cross McGlen, there's Orange Man, whose patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be the Orange Man in Cross McGlen. And someday soon, 10,000 strong, the Ulstermen will march from Belfast town to help their brothers fight the foe and rid the IRA from Ulster's land. In Cross McGlen, there's Orange Man, whose patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be the Orange Man in Cross McGlen. In Cross McGlen, there's Orange Man, whose patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be the Orange Man in Cross McGlen. It will be the Orange Man in Cross McGlen.
Brilliant there from Lisa. Fantastic song. Absolutely love it. Again, another favourite with all of the flute bands playing that as music. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do the birthdays.
Well sung there, Lisa. You could have just sung it live on camera.
Of course. Didn't click. Different Lisa. Different Lisa. I can't even remember Lisa's last name.
Williamson.
Williamson. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so we're going to do another song and then we're going to do the birthdays after the song. So this is your last chance to get the birthdays in for this evening. Our next song is again one of my favorites. I love this next one. It's a favorite song of mine. It's a wee waltz, Roy. Another wee lively one for you. But I know fine rightly that you're all going to love it the minute you hear it. It's UDR4.
I'm a young Ulster soldier from north of the border. I'm one of the UDR4. They've charged me with murder, just me and no other. Now I am a lifer called Neil Latimer. All have locked me away where the sweet light of day half reaches my prison cell door. But no matter how long I'll fight on and on as one of the UDR4. Free, free, I just wanna be free as the wind and the rain and the sea. Free, free, I just wanna be out where the rivers run free. So strike up the drum, let me shoulder my gun. Let the flutes play the sash that my dear father wore. And open the gates, let me rejoin my mates as one of the UDR4. Together again, we'll fight as young men, as our forefathers did in the great days of yore. And the IRA scum, oh, the border will run, and the charge of the UDR4. Free, free, I just want to be free as the wind and the rain and the sea. Free, free, I just want to be out where the rivers run free. So strike up the drum, let me shoulder my gun. Let the flutes play the sash that my dear father wore. And open the gates, let me rejoin my mates as one of the UDR4. Together again, we'll fight as young men, as our forefathers did in the great days of yore. Then the IRA scum, oh, the border will run, and the charge of the UDR4. Free, free, you just wanna be free as the wind and the rain and the sea. Free, free, you just wanna be out where the rivers run free. Oh, free, free, you just wanna be free as the wind and the rain and the sea. Free, free, I just wanna be out where the rivers run free. Oh, out where the rivers run free. Out where the rivers run free.
Told you would like that one. I'd say most of you have heard that one before. It's one of the more modern ones. Jim is getting a backing track from our Mandy. There's a backing tracks going on here. There's a lot of singing going on Kilkane. I love it, love it. Jens is asleep on his good ear just as well. I'm singing away, says Gillian. Birthday time. Now, it may surprise you to learn that we're going to overrun tonight. I know that's a shock. I know that never happens to us. We don't normally do that. But coming up after our birthdays, we have a song that's requested actually on the comments there. And then we're going a wee bit livelier as well and going into some of the more recent songs that you'll all recognize as well. So hopefully you'll stay with us until the end. But in the meantime, we are going to do our birthdays. So Carl Robinson, I hope you are watching. Imperial Cora Drums, it is your birthday today, so happy birthday to you, and hope you are having a wonderful day. Stacey Emma Connor, it is your birthday today. You're hopefully on the gins. Congratulations, Stacey. Hope you have a wonderful day. And also Christine, Kenneth Connor told me to say a big happy birthday to Christine from OPB, all my Protestant boys there as well. Mr. Ray McHugh, a name that I see every week without fail. You mustn't have missed very many of these shows. Karina and Ray, you'll always hear me introduce and mention them out their comments. And it's Ray's birthday today as well. So Ray, again, a massive, great, big happy birthday. Caroline Stirrup wants me to say a big happy birthday to your daughter, Emma, whose birthday was on Thursday. Emma, I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. Alex Jones, it's your birthday as well. Happy birthday to you. And that comes from John Hunter. Aubrey Crow has asked me to say a massive, great, big happy birthday to his mum, who is celebrating her 91st birthday tomorrow. So I hope you're watching. I hope you're enjoying all the old songs, because you'll know those, because years and years ago, these were so popular at all the events. And hope you have a wonderful day tomorrow. And also for Hannah Wilmot, whose birthday is today as well. And her mum and dad send her very happy birthday and says she has missed very few of these. Good. I'm glad to hear there's so many of you have been watching it. So to you all, from us all here at Ulster Bands Forum, on behalf of all the viewers as well, have a wonderful, happy birthday. And here's your serenade from the Muska Hounds. Lisa, do you want to sing along?
Nope. But happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from the forum. Happy birthday to you.
I'm kind of half expecting those wee rascals to pull some surprise on me tomorrow night. I'm half expecting it. I don't know whether they will or not. Roy, of course, won't tell, but they're on the show tomorrow night. Chaos will ensue on our 101st show, but make sure you join us. Lisa, are you going to come on live with us, or will you manage to escape?
What, tomorrow? I don't know.
So quiet there. You don't interrupt me as much as Roy does. You don't give me as much abuse as Roy does.
Because she
neither.
doesn't know what to say.
Oh, I bet you she's not shy the rest of the time, Chris.
She'd talk the ear off you if she wants to.
Get her drunk, and then bring her on this. She'll be fine.
No,
No, we had
my elders, but it doesn't matter.
What'd you say?
Respect our elders, she says.
Just put her on permanent mute there, Roy. Just keep it on mute. Don't take her off it.
There's no such thing as an old person. There's only youthfully challenged.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am going to be 25 this year for the second time.
With a 1 in front of it.
Right. Now, earlier on, there was a request for the next song. Delighted to be able to play it. It is Ulster Girl.
Ulster girl in heart and soul, and I love our dear old land. I honor those in her cause, leave voice, pen or hand, and may I die before I see this land we fought to save. In rebel hands, and I am worst, a mother of a slave. Through many bloody times of old Ulster's heart has bled, but still she makes her enemy know her spirit has not fled. God bless the men who for her sake their love and freedom gave. God bless the mothers of these sons who nursed no cowardly slaves. Well, the Ulster girl is me, and I'll tell you honestly that I'll die to keep this land of ours still free. Freedom gave. God bless the mothers of these sons who nursed no cowardly slaves. Well, the Ulster girl is me, and I'll tell you honestly that I'll die to keep this land of ours still free. Die to keep this land of ours still free.
YouTube is playing a little silly beggars with us on that one. Sorry to those of you who were enjoying it, but Roy tried a couple of times there to keep it going, but it wouldn't play any further. Hopefully it's not going to play up throughout the rest of these songs. If I remember right, did Ulster Girl not play up the last time we tried to play it? I think it did. We'll maybe try and find another version of that to use. Song made famous, of course, by Sylvia Pavis, another fantastic singer of our cultural songs. And that version was by Rhonda Kennedy, who I know is one of Roy's favourite singers as well. We will eventually get the full version of it to play. We'll get it sorted. Now, the next one, again, one of my favourite songs. It's been known, I have to say, to be sung very off-key and very out of pitch. On a band bus every now and then by me. Words are always right, but the rest of it might not be might not be in tune. It is Fields of Ulster. So YouTube is our Willie, who unfortunately is no longer with us, but I genuinely think that that audience that night in the Odyssey, they didn't understand a word that he said the whole night, because he was as broad at Ulster Scots as you can get. But he was brilliant at the audience. They just loved him and they all sang along. Now, following that, another one of Willie. It's not Willie's favourites. It's not him singing at this time. But again, it's one that you all know. There is appropriate where in it. You'll know where it comes. It's the green grassy slopes of the Boyne.
sings of mountains and valleys where the wildflowers abundantly grow, and some of the wave-crested billows that dash beneath the waters below. But I'm going to sing of a river, and I hope in the chorus you'll join, of the deeds that were done by King William on the green grassy slopes of the Boyne.
On the green grassy slopes of the Boyne, where the armsmen with William did join, and they fought for our glorious deliverance. On the green grassy slopes of the Boyne,
on the banks of that beautiful river, there the bones of our forefathers lie, awaiting the sound of the trumpet to call them to glory on high. In our hearts we will cherish their memories, and we all like true brethren will join, and praise God for sending us King William to the green grassy slopes of the Boyne.
on the green grassy slopes of the Boyne, where the armsmen with William did join, and they fought for our glorious deliverance. On the green grassy slopes of the Boyne,
Orange men will be loyal and steady, for no matter what air may betide, we will still mind our war cry, no surrender, so long as we've God on our side. And if ever our services is needed, then we all like true brethren will join, and fight like great Valley and King William.
What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? Huh? Can you disconnect that YouTube or and then reconnect or something? Or
No, because it's a new feed every time that it's pulled into it, and for some reason it's cutting the tunes short.
YouTube is a
It's only saying that the video is 2 minutes and 12 long on the channel.
It's
And that's what
not.
that's what it played. When I click on the link, it's saying 2 minutes and 12.
No, it's definitely longer because we played that one before.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on. YouTube is obviously, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy is what it is. Next up is Ulster Soldier. I'll be honest. I know that one of these is Lisa.
Not me.
Is it this one? Oh, this is Lisa in the Ulster Hall for one of the centenary events. I can't remember which one, but if it's the one I'm thinking of, I love this. I really love the backing track to it as much as anything else. Yeah, YouTube is definitely, I don't know whether it's algorithms are against us or what, but they've obviously decided the level of bigotry is too much in this show this evening, but we'll keep going as long as we can. So this is Ulster Soldier.
For the red, white, and blue.
managed to get through that one at the very least. It'll probably be all my favourites coming up now that it manages to play about with. But let's go for the next one. This is the one and only. And please, please, please learn the words. Derry's Walls.
The time has scarce gone round, boys, 200 years ago, when the traitors on old Derry's walls their faces dare not show. When James and all his rebel band came up to Bishopsgate, with heart and hand and sword and shield we caused him to retreat.
Fight and don't surrender, but come when duty calls. With heart and hand and sword and shield, we'll guard old Derry's walls.
Though blood did flow in crimson streams on many a winter night, the Lord was on their side to help them in their fight.
They nobly stood upon the walls, determined for to die, or fight and gain the victory, and raise the crimson high. Then fight and don't surrender, but come when duty calls. With heart and hand and sword and shield, we'll guard old Derry's walls.
At last, with one broadside, kind heaven sent them aid. The boom that blocked the foil was broke, and James was all dismayed. The banner, boys, that floated was run aloft with joy.
God bless the ship that broke the boom and saved the Prentice boys. Then fight and don't surrender, but come when duty calls. With heart and hand and sword and shield, we'll guard old Derry's walls.
Chris and Lisa, I have to say, you are sitting there very, very soberly and not dancing and jigging at all.
There's one thing.
How can you?
I have to say one thing, because everybody else doesn't see this, but you are missing the best dancing you're ever going to see, with Valerie just going,
Listen, it's all, at one stage I actually had the pen and the lid of the pen, and I was using it as a set of symbols and everything. It's because you have to enjoy it, and it's not like I'm not even down through my first gin, so it can't be blamed on the alcohol. But you have to enjoy these. It's the same for a lot of the flute band and accordion band and brass band.
I would if it didn't have a sore back.
Huh?
I would if it didn't have a sore back.
Oh,
Excuses.
Ah, dear.
You should be you should be there with a band pole as well, Chris. Oh, you'll probably head it off the
I
ceiling.
haven't touched a band pole in over a year. It'll be a wee while yet.
You'll have to get plasters in all the fingers, because the fingers will be the you know the way like they talk about, you know, guitars thickening up the skin at the point of their fingers. Your fingers are probably.
My hand's completely as hard as a rock, so I'm fine.
Glenn says band pole injuries. Some size of glass I have there. It's actually a pint glass, David. It's handy for getting as much gin as I can manage. Somebody mentioned there, I think it was Penny Johnson, said it's amazing how singing a few choruses can lift the mood. It really does, and these are brilliant songs, absolutely fantastic. Someone else suggested a open air version similar to Glastonbury, only Orangebury. I don't know what kind of reception that would get, but why not? Because I mean, Sinn Féin of their festival, where their groups come on and sing "Go Home, British Soldiers, Go Home." So why shouldn't we? I don't know. Good tunes tonight, having the sing-songs, getting everyone's spirits lifted, ready for the parading season. Oh, hope so, absolutely hope so. Only for the Apprentice Boys, there will be no Protestants in the UK. Not strictly speaking true, because there are quite a lot of Orange Lodges in the UK as well. Now, another one. I know I may have said this before. This is a favourite of mine. Lisa, you know what's coming up next. What do you think of this one? Startled in the headlights, unprepared. Build my gallows, Lisa. Build my gallows.
I really like that one.
Do you not? I love it. I usually have a few wee hand actions in it. So, Chris, you can watch these. I'll give you lessons in the hand actions through this year. This is Build My Gallows. Build them high. All I can say is you guys need to be glad that my mic is muted through all of these, because I'm not even sure I'm in the same key. I'm enthusiastic, if nothing else. Enthusiastic. Now, there has been quite a few of you asking for this next particular song, so Roy went and found it. We hadn't planned to have it in the playlist, but you see how amenable we are. Just keeping you all happy, 100th birthday and everything. So let's play this next one. A lot of you asked for it. Soldier in the Station.
In the station in the city, a British soldier stood, talking to the people there if the people would. Some just stared in hatred and others turned in pain, and the lonely British soldier wished he was back home again. Come join the British Army, said the posters in his town. See the world and have your fun, come serve before the crown. The jobs were hard to come by and he could not face the dole, so he took his country shilling and enlisted on the roll. For there was no fear of fighting, the empire long was lost. Just 10 years in the army, getting paid for being bossed. Then leave a man experienced, a man who's made the grade, a medal and a pension, some memories and a trade. Then came the call to Ireland as the call had come before. Another bloody chapter in an endless civil war. The priests, they stood on both sides, the priests, they stood behind. Another fight in Jesus' name, the blind against the blind. The soldiers stood between them, between the whistling stones, and then the broken bottles that led to broken bones. The petrol bombs that burned his hands, the nails that pierced his skin, and wished that he had stayed at home, surrounded by his kin. The station filled with people, the soldier soon was bored. But better in the station than where the people warred. The room filled up with mothers, with daughters and with sons, who stared with itchy fingers at the soldier and his guns. A yell of fear, a screech of brakes, a shattering of glass. The window of the station broke to let the package pass. A scream came from the mothers as they ran towards the door, dragging children crying from the bomb upon the floor. The soldier stood and could not move, his gun he could not use. He knew the bomb had seconds and not minutes on the fuse. He could not run to pick it up and throw it in the street. There were far too many people there, too many running feet. Take cover, yelled the soldier, take cover for your lives. And the Irishmen threw down their young and stood before their wives. They turned towards the soldier, their eyes alive with fear. For God's sake, save our children, or they'll end their short lives here. The soldier moved towards the bomb, his stomach like a stone. Why was this his battle, God? Why was he alone? He lay down on the package and he murmured one farewell to those at home in England, to those he loved so well. He saw the sights of summer, felt the wind upon his brow. The young girls in the city parks, how precious were they now. The soaring of the swallow, the beauty of the swan, the music of the turning earth, so soon would it be gone. A muffled soft explosion and the room began to quake. The soldier blown across the floor, his blood a crimson lake. They never heard him cry or shout, they never heard him moan. And they turned their children's faces from the blood and from the bone. The crowd outside soon gathered and the ambulances came to carry off the body of a pawn lost to the game. And the crowd, they clapped and jeered and they sang their rebel songs. One soldier less to to interfere where he did not belong? And will the children growing up learn at their mother's knee the story of the soldier who fought their liberty, who used his youthful body as the means towards the end, who gave his life to those who called him murderer, not friend?
Brilliant song. Used to play it all the time on the wee radio show I did about marching bands, surprisingly enough. And a lot of people hadn't heard it before, but it's an absolutely brilliant song. And very, very true. Very, very true as well. Absolutely fantastic song. As is the next one. They're all fantastic songs as far as I'm concerned. Number 1, Platoon.
I'll remember, I'll try. It was nearly July as we walked down the road. I remember the year. There was me, there was Sam, Jimmy Sloan, and McCann would enlist in the volunteers. And the man says to me, boy, I hope you will see and remember this day all the things you've been taught. It could be now and then we will fight once again for the things that our grandfathers fought. And I swore like the rest to the badge on my breast, to the gun in my hand, I will fight for my land. With my hand held high, I took that vow when I joined number 1 platoon. And deep down inside, my heart fills with pride. I remember the men who have fought through the years. I could name quite a few, but to me and to you, they were Ulster volunteers. And the man says to me, boy, I hope you will see and remember this day all the things you've been taught. It could be now and then, but we will strike once again for the things that our grandfathers fought. And I swore like the rest to the badge on my breast, to the gun in my hands, I will fight for my land. With my hands held high, I took that vow and I joined number 1 platoon. And the man says to me, boy, I hope you will see and remember this day all the things you've been taught. It could be now and then we will fight once again for the things that our grandfathers fought. And I swore like the rest to the badge on my breast, to the gun in my hand, I will fight for my land. With my hands held high, I took that vow and I joined number 1 platoon. With my hands held high, I took that vow and I joined number 1 platoon. With my hands held high, I took that vow and I joined number 1 platoon. And I joined number 1 platoon.
Eddie Torney, you know it. You know it. All the hand actions are being done to the chorus. There are so many of you coming in with suggestions for more songs, and I would love to play them, but we'd be here all night. We could do probably about a 5-hour show with all the fantastic tunes that are out there of this nature. Never mind, well, we're going to be ending up, 2.5 hours? Maybe even 3 hours. We still have a few left, so we're not going to add any more into it, but we will keep a wee note of it. Diane Steele, you must have been either reading my list or reading my mind, because next up, this should keep you happy. King Billy's on the Walls.
There's a famous painting now that everybody knows. It stands upon a gable wall over Sandy Road, in memory of King William and Brethren who did join. They fought for our deliverance at the Battle of the Boyne. King Belay's on the wall, King Belay's on the wall. He stands so high, shines so bright, he lights up the falls. There's millions come to see him, they stand and gaze in awe. They remember 1690, King Belay's on the wall. Well, there are slogans painted in red, white and blue. They tell the Pope where he can go and what he can do. There's one to Jared Rice, well that's a different class. Go stick the lower armor road and stick it up your ass. King Belay's on the wall, King Belay's on the wall. He stands so high, shines so bright, he lights up the falls. There's millions come to see him, they stand and gaze in awe. They remember 1690, King Belay's on the wall. Well, the next time you're in Ulster, won't you come and have a look? Stand beside that mural and have your photo took. Then put it on your mantelpiece or hang it in your hall, so that all the world can see King Belay's on the wall. King Belay's on the wall, King Belay's on the wall. He stands so high, shines so bright, he lights up the falls. There's millions come to see him, they stand and gaze in awe. They remember 1690, King Belay's on the wall. King Belay's on the wall, King Belay's on the wall. He stands so high, shines so bright, he lights up the falls. There's millions come to see him, they stand and gaze in awe. They remember 1690, King Belay's on the wall. He stands so high, shines so bright, he lights up the falls. There's millions come to see him, they stand and gaze in awe. They remember 1690, King Belay's on the wall.
Did you get that scam poster, Roy? I was looking through it on the phone because for some reason you can't delete on the Facebook on the PC for whatever reason. Did you? Couldn't do it on the PC.
Well and truly gone. Don't care about his herpes. Don't care about what he wants. He's away.
I didn't even read it. I just knew. Loads of ones saying missing Sash Bashes even more now. Can't wait for the 12th. Brian Thompson, you're totally right. A lot of those songs will be 10 times better with decent background music. Totally agreed. Some of them are just like the default.
Flute bands playing. They'd be better with flute bands playing the music behind instead of the dirty nippers.
There's very few flute bands. Blood and Thunder could play a waltz, for God's sake.
I didn't say Blood and Thunder. I said flute bands. At this point in time, I wouldn't even care if it was Balnaran playing it.
Things are bad if you're saying that. Things are definitely bad. Let's see. Telly and Yasmin are dancing around the living room. Glad to see it. Rabbi says, just relax, pour me still another gin and keep the tunes coming. We're only getting warmed up. It's already it. Oh my goodness. Craig Curry will be playing a Rangers 55 live stream on Sunday after the Old Firm match. We will not be here on Sunday. I have to tell, like 2 nights of us is probably more than enough on a weekend. we definitely have a wee watch. And where would you find this, Craig? Where will we find this stream on Sunday? Let us know. Now, 2 songs to go. This one probably get you in the mood for Sunday as much as anything else. It's probably a theme song for the Muskehounds, because they are definitely coming tomorrow night. We are coming. We're coming down the road. Enjoyed that one. That was good. Thank you very much. I hate you, Roy. Just know that. I'll hate you. I don't like you doing that because I'm just getting into it.
Doing what? What did I do now?
Don't that blooming scream you.
That was Lisa. Lisa did that.
Yeah, Lisa, my butt. Lisa's sitting there being very quiet and all good, isn't she? Yes, she is, darling. Yes,
Quiet
she
as
is.
a mouse.
Huh?
Quiet as a mouse.
Quiet as a mouse. I know it. She's getting us all these YouTube algorithms. You're sitting there giving off stink and labeling everybody, isn't she? She's a bad woman. Is it time for us to stop? Yes, Craig thinks it's time for us to stop. So we're going to do our last song of the night. Thank you so much, Lisa, for joining us. See, you didn't have to say much. Just sitting there nice and quiet. That's all we need.
Okay.
Didn't get a chance to say much. God love you. Roy, as always, thank you. Thank you both for the last 100 shows. No offense, but I hope we don't do another 100 shows. I hope we don't celebrate a 200, and that's no offense to you guys.
Well, just remember, when we hit the 50th show, we said we weren't going to hit the 100.
No, we can't. We can't. We definitely can't be at 200 shows.
I think if you keep that 100 balloon inflated, you could just probably stick another 0 at the end of it.
No, well, it's never going to be that bad. Never going to be that bad. I hope. Please no. Listen, there's really only one song we can finish the tune on, or one song we can finish the tune on. One song we can finish the 100th show on. Really, my favourite.
100 more.
Wonder what it is, Lisa. My favourite.
Flash.
I
No
suppose
super
it
fight
is.
song.
Suppose it is. We're going to have to give it a rattle at some stage tonight. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for our 101st show. I'm going to have to doctor my balloons there to get one of the zeros to look like a 1 in some way. They joined and fronted by the Muskehounds. So chaos is almost virtually promised. Hopefully Lisa will come on as well and do virtual band pre. You are in the Black Book, actually, for your comment about the disrespecting the elders.
Lisa, don't worry. We've got cookies and vodka on the Black Book side, so you're all right.
I don't drink vodka.
Do you eat ice cream? We have ice cream.
I have gin.
We don't do gin.
Gin, I like gin.
That's perfume.
I'll stay on Collery side.
Yes.
Just for the gin.
Though you're going to have to up the behaviour here, Lisa. Comments like, respecting your elders don't keep you in the gin club.
Well, they're too old for elders. They're pensioners. They're red.
Right. Craig says it's time to go. So we will see you tomorrow night along with the Muskehounds. Make sure and join us. Thank you all for watching all 100 of our shows, or as many of them as you have got to. Thank you to all the videographers who have allowed us to use your clips. Make sure that you go on and support them and follow their YouTube channels, because after all, they're doing all that stuff for us. Let's finish off the show. There's only one way to finish it off. If you haven't really listened actually to the end tune tonight, it's a different one because obviously we played Landing of Torbay earlier on. I think you'll like it. It's probably not one that I could play during the show, just in case the censors maybe took a little bit of offense at it. But finishing off with one we all know, and make sure you learn the words of this one, for goodness sake. Pet hate. Learn the chorus or the verses. See you all tomorrow night.
Oh, here am I, an orange man from far across the sea. For singing and for dancing, I hope that I'll please thee. I can sing and dance with any man, as I did in days of yore. And on the 12th I love to wear the sash my father wore. It is old but it is beautiful, and its colours they are fine. It was worn at Derry, Aughrim, Enniskillen and the Boyne. Sure my father wore it as a youth in the bygone days of yore. And it's on the 12th I proudly wear the sash my father wore. Whenever I come back again, my brethren here to see, I hope in the fine old orange style they'll always welcome me. My favourite tune, Boyne Water, will please me more and more, and make my orange heart feel glad with the sash my father wore. It is old but it is beautiful, and its colours they are fine. It was worn at Derry, Aughrim, Enniskillen and father wore it as a youth in the bygone days of yore. And it's on the 12th I proudly wear the sash my father wore. Oh, it's now I'm going to leave you. Good luck to you, I say. And when I'm on the ocean, for me I hope you'll pray. I am going to my native land, to a place they call Dromore, where on the 12th I always wear the sash my father wore. It is old, but it is beautiful, and its colours they are fine. It was worn at Derry, Aucheroon, Enniskillen, and the Boyne. Oh, my father wore it as a youth in the bygone days of yore. And on the 12th I love to wear the sash my father wore. And on the 12th I love to wear the sash my father wore.
I very nearly broke the habit of 100 shows. Flits to myth, boys. We're coming to the tune. We'll see you tomorrow night.
As we march up and down on the roads of 42, our drums they will blather like the thunder, and as the day grows near we'll play speaking hearts and cheer. We're the Bulldog Heroes of Thunder. In Dublin there's a man and he says he has a plan. He has 10,000 men or more, they say, but then we need not mind, for they're all half name and blind. We're the Bulldog Heroes of Thunder. As we march up and down on the roads of 42, our drums they will blather like the thunder, and as the day grows near we'll play speaking heart with fear. We're the Bulldog Heroes of Thunder. In Humber there's a man, like his name is yet strong. He lives on the outskirts of Humber. He says the day will come, he'll stick his foot through Harvey's drum. We're the Bulldog Heroes of Thunder. As we march up and down on the roads of 42, our drums they will blather like the thunder, and as the day grows near we'll play speaking hearts with fear. We're the Bulldog Heroes of Thunder. Playing up comes a